I welcome you all to the next episode of Helmet Therapy, and this is going to be a bit of an odd one, I must admit, because it's going to be a massive brain dump, and I want to actually reintroduce the channel now because I've made some important decisions based on the algorithm, really, more than anything. The algorithm has not been my friend on this YouTube channel for a long time. Been running for over a year, and to be quite honest, the growth has been that slow that I almost question the actual content. You know, I think the content might be a bit rubbish. I don't know. I'm not doing the hook, not doing the 3-second thing, because the reality is that's not me. You know, I'm not specifically here for follow, subscribers, that sort of thing. I'm here to try and help. So I'm going to continue to put the content out there, because every time I do a video on this series, I do generally get at least one comment from somebody saying that it's helped, and that's enough for me. That's important. That one person, and that's only the person that's commented. You know, hopefully there will be 4, 5, 6 people that may have watched it and just thought, you know what, this has helped. So I'm going to carry on, but I'm going to change the way now that I run the channel. So if you're familiar with my content and you're not here for the helmet therapy, then chances are I'm probably going to lose some subscribers from this. But I'm going to focus the efforts of this channel now for specifically long form content with, you know, a teaser trailer short in the week, which will be linked to the video. The rest of the stuff that I've been posting, so the normal myriad of jovial jokage and facts, those will be restricted heavily to my other platforms now. So if you are here for that, please, you know, just go look for Wiggyrides on most of the other platforms, and you will find me there continuing the long-term banter, factual fun, and quite frankly weirdness that is my daily content. But certainly this YouTube channel now is going to have one weekly long form. I'm going to trial at Friday at 5 o'clock for my new release time and dates, just to see what that does, just to see how it goes, and just to see if it's any more successful. We'll play with it a bit, but that's not important. That's not what you all here to hear, is it? Helmet therapy this time round, so this episode, I've been kind of struggling. This morning I woke up, in fact last night I went to bed and I thought I want to tackle, oh god, I can't remember what it's called now. Bear with me, hang on a minute. I've got Munchausen stuck in my head. It's not bloody Munchausen's, is it? It is I can't remember what it's called now, it's gone. It is imposter syndrome. There you go, got it. So I was going to tackle imposter syndrome, and I was going to do a whole thing about, you know, what it is, what it actually means, etc, etc. And the more I was kind of looking into it, I thought, well, the whole premise of my helmet therapy was to just explain how it makes me feel and how, you know, how things affect me, my thoughts around it. It's not going to be, you know, any specifics. It's not going to be there to cure or anything like that, because, you know, that's not me. I can't do that. I can only tell you how I feel. But the more I kind of looked into imposter syndrome, and the more I thought about everything I talk about, as a content creator, I have the ability to reach anyone and to, in the nicest possible way, touch anyone with my content. So the one thing I absolutely don't want to do is only give you my interpretation of something, because it could be wrong, it may not work for you, and it could cause more harm. So the more I thought about it, the more I looked into the subject last night, in the imposter syndrome subject last night, the more I realised that actually I need to find out a bit more about it from a official point of view, and then liken that to my stuff. So then I started thinking about, well, okay, what else can I talk about then? And I thought about loads and loads of different things, and in the end it came down to the one thing, which is, you know what, part of mental health is having that inability to lock in on something. Sometimes your brain can be filled with so much crap, really, so much crap, that, you know what, sometimes it's worth just doing an actual brain dump. That's what today's episode's going to be. So I'm going to talk a bit about the channel, I'm going to talk a bit about the structure moving forward and what my promise to you guys is going to be. And most of it is just going to be a little bit of waffling and just getting everything out of my head, just trying to dump as much as I can. Another one I want to talk about is something that I actually did recently, which was the memory blocking. Now, it has a more official term and I forget what it is. It's a kind of amnesia which the brain will do on purpose to shield you from bad scenarios. Now, I did it purely based on a memory block of certain events, but I really want to dig into what that actually means, you know, longer term, how much of your life can go. So if you're, let's say for example, so with memory blocking, if you have a bad experience in a day, that whole day could be blocked from your memory to protect you. But what if you're in a bad marriage and every day is bad? You could lose your entire life. So I really want to dig into that. So that'll be another subject. I want to do one about relationship abandonment disorders, RSD, that sort of thing, so relationship stuff. So I'm going to do one about that, which looks into why we behave the way we behave when people do certain things. So a prime example is me, for example. If I say I'm going to meet up with my friends at 9 o'clock, I'll be there at 5:02. My theory being that if I turn up at 9 o'clock or 1 minute past, they will just leave without me and I'll be left alone. You know, there's a reason that I think like that. I know what the reason is now, but I want to dig into things like that. So I'm going to do a piece about relationships. Another one I really want to get into as well, and I genuinely don't know the answer to this one, this is where my imposter syndrome is going to kick in, is I want to try and establish the link between poor mental health and motorcycles. Not saying that, you know, if you've got poor mental health you want to buy a bike. That's not true. It works in quite the opposite way, really. Whereas we know as motorcyclists that if you don't have any mental health issues and you are perfectly fine, you get on your bike, you still feel better. But if you do have mental health issues, you can get on the bike and it can be such a release. And I really, really want to dig into that. I want to try and figure out, well, why? Why is that? Why are bikes so important? Interestingly, thinking about imposter syndrome, I literally just had that myself. I constantly challenge and question my content, and you'll hear me constantly talking about how, you know, I can't give you the proper advice and seek professional help and all that. And that in itself is imposter syndrome. I don't believe my content's that good. I'm aware that it goes, you know, it has the potential on YouTube to go out worldwide and anybody can see it. I'm aware of the implications of that and the power that I have as somebody on camera talking, that I can influence many things. But my imposter syndrome itself still tells me that actually, why listen to me? There's so many other people out there that actually do a much better job at this. Like I said, hopefully, you know, the few comments I do get from people saying that they enjoy what I'm saying, hopefully it means I'm not entirely wrong, not entirely too far on the wrong side of the fence, and that maybe something I'm saying might actually be fairly accurate, you know. Another one I want to do is around understanding you, and this is all about forgiveness. And now that's going to sound a bit cliche, you know, a bit like, oh God, whatever. But it's important. It's really important. because the last bout of therapy I went in there and I said, I want 3 things from this therapy. I need you to save my marriage. That's a much bigger story. I need to understand why I am like I am. And I need some hints and tips, some helpful hints and tips on things that I can do when I'm not at my best. The most powerful thing, apart from my marriage being saved, the most powerful thing that I took from those therapy sessions was exactly understanding. And the moment you can understand why you behave the way that you behave, why you react the way that you react, the moment you understand that, it's so powerful. It really is. Because once you understand something, you can accept it. Once you accept it, you can almost learn to live with and forgive yourself. I used to be a really argumentative, arrogant, opinionated, somewhat grumpy arsehole. Like, you know, proper. Not all the time. I was still, you know, light-hearted, comical and all that sort of stuff. And I've always been a people person. But yeah, super grumpy. Really argumentative, really opinionated. And I've forgiven myself of all of that now because I realised why I was like that. It wasn't my fault. You know, and I don't mean that offsetting blame. It genuinely wasn't my fault. I didn't realise what had happened to me growing up that, you know, made me the way I am. So one of the big topics I want to do, amongst the others I've mentioned, and there will be more, there will be lots more, is definitely understanding yourself and forgive yourself. So another one that, screw that, another one that has just come to me really is like when the day goes wrong. Because sometimes, you know, you can get up, can't you, and it's a lovely morning, you're well slept, alert, all that sort of stuff, and you'll walk across your dining room or whatever in the morning, you'll stub your toe, it'll hurt, you might even swear, but it's not the end of the world. You'll be like, oh, that really hurt, but whatever, just get a coffee and go on. That's the mindset of that morning. Another morning, you can get up, the weather's not quite as nice, you've not slept that well, you're already a little bit grumpy, and you can't be asked with what's about to happen that day for whatever reason. You're walking across the same dining room, you stub your toe, the world falls apart, you then spill the milk, spill your cereal, kick the cat, whatever, everything just goes wrong. What do you do? What do you do in those sort of scenarios? There's loads of trains of thought out there that will say, and I don't want to walk all over the video before I've even started doing it, but you know, the different trains of thought you have out there, where some will say, oh, you just got to pick yourself up, mate, deep breaths and all that. Others will say, fuck it, go to bed. So I want to dig into that one, because, you know, we all suffer with that. Aware as well, I got my visor open, so sorry if that was a bit windy. I can't figure out the right microphone settings on this. When I put noise reduction on, you can't hear the bike and it sounds shit. It sounds electronic. When I wire it up straight to the camera, or, you know, Bluetooth it to the camera, I can't seem to get the settings right. But I like to have my audio separate file to the video, because then I can overlay the audio on all of the different videos. Although now I've just downloaded DaVinci, I might be able to get around that. Anyway, we digress. I think the theme throughout all these videos, and my whole point that I'm trying to get across, and I might set this up as some kind of slogan, is that you deserve more, your mental health deserves more, and you are important. That's the one thing that keeps running through in my head, is everybody needs to understand how important they are. You know, how important you are as a person, but how important you are to yourself. There is a big reason why when you're on a plane that they instruct you, so when you're, you know, they say the oxygen will fall down, the oxygen masks will fall down, there's a reason, you know, that they tell you to put yours on first. Yeah, it's simply because if you put yours on, you're now protected. You can now help others. Yeah, that's how important you are. Not just on a plane, but in life, all the time. That's how important you are. Yeah, you protect yourself. You look after yourself. Look what I'm doing now. And I'm not, please don't think I'm now bigging myself up, because I'm not. But it's exactly what I'm doing. I've been through the therapy. I'm not perfect. But I've looked after myself. I'm now working so hard on myself to make sure that I'm in a position that I can hopefully help others. I've put my oxygen mask on, and I now want to help others put theirs on. Yeah, it's corny, I know, but yeah. But look, the reality is, unless they're a paid professional, who in your life can you rely on to help get you through it? Anyone? No one? Be there for you, because you are the most important person. So let's sum up this episode then. So what we're going to do, and my promise to you. So I've restructured my YouTube channel now, so it's going to be one long form video every Friday at 5. We'll start with that. It'll be a teaser trailer every Wednesday. That will be the only short I do. So like I mentioned, you know, search for me on other channels if you want to carry on seeing the sort of jovial, more bizarre side of Wiggyrides. And my promise to you guys is, unlike today where I've literally just waffled and done a brain dump, I will obviously watch this video back to remember what it is I've said. So my promise to you guys is I will be tackling those topics. Not every week will be a helmet therapy, because there are other topics I want to tackle. I want to do a full review on this bike. I want to do some reviews on the kit that I use. I want to do some general talking about nostalgia and all that sort of stuff. So there's going to be a myriad of topics that are covered, but certainly for the helmet therapy series, I'm going to do more structure. My promise to you is there will be more structure. There will be some really hitting topics. And I hope you all enjoy them. So again, as I've always said, if you've got this far in a video, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you stick around to see more. And I will see you all very, very soon. And as I always mention as well, you know, my chats and everything are always open. So if you do need somebody just to talk to, if you do have any questions on any of the topics I'm covering, please reach out. I do reply as soon as I can. Thanks all. Have a great day.